Yo, so Freakier Friday is coming out, and I thought, you know what? I can't even remember the last time I watched the film, so I thought, let me check out the first one, Freaky Friday. Right, so this was directed by Mark Walters. It was written by Leslie Dixon and Heather Hach. Right, the film is produced by Andrew Gunn, executive produced by Mario Iskovich, and co-produced by Anne-Marie Sanderlin. Rolf Kent handled the music. Oliver Wood is on cinematography. Bruce Green, he edits everything. Right, casting was handled by Marcy Luroff. Carrie White is production design. Art direction, we have Maria L. Baker. Barbara Habarash is set decoration. Genevieve Terrell is costume design. Hair and makeup, we have Eleanor Arroy, Barbara Lorenz, Christina Smith, Tara Smith, and Clinton Wayne. Okie dokie. Our cast, right? So, who do we have? Oh, let me just do that. Who do we have? Okay, Tess Coleman is Dr. Tess Coleman is played by Jamie Lee Curtis, and she's about to marry Ryan, played by Mark Harmon. Tess has a daughter, Anna, played by Lindsay Lohan, and a son, Jake. No, the son is, boy, what's the name of her stupid little brother again? Harry, that's it. Harry is played by Ryan Malajanari, right? There's Tess's dad, Alan, right, who is played by Harold Gould. That's the family. Then we have got Pink Slip, right? Anna's band, made up of Maddie, played by Christina Vidal. Peg, played by Haley Hudson. They don't really have any of the other band members. Only those two. But I will say they're the only two that really get much play in the film, right? There is Jake, Anna's crush, right? He's played by Chad Michael Murray. We have a teacher, Mr. Elton Bates, played by Stephen Tobolowsky. There is Pai Pai, right? The Chinese restaurant manager, played by Rosalind Chow. Her mother is played by Lucille Song. We also have some of Tess's patients. There's Evan, played by Willie Garson, and Dottie, played by Diana Walters. Stacy Hinkhouse, a former best friend of Anna, is played by Julie Gonzalo. Yeah, that's the main cast. So the gist of the film, right, is mother and daughter bicker over everything. What Anna wears, whom she likes, and what she wants to do when she's older. In turn, Anna detests Tess's fiance. When a magical fortune cookie switches their personalities, they each get a peek at how the other person feels, thinks, and lives. Right, that is the big gist. Now, all of this was actually based on a book, right? All based on a book from, what is her name again? It is Mary Rodgers, right? But I remember there was another film before this, right? It came out in 76, I think. And it starred Jodie Foster. She was the little girl. And I remember watching that one with my gran, I think it was. And that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Like this one, watching it, right? I think this isn't made for me. Right, and maybe if I was a little kid, I might enjoy it, but it's like, I don't know. A lot of the scenarios and everything just seem a little bit overplayed, right? It's a bit too forced in the comedy for my kind of liking, you know? I can completely see why people will enjoy it, though. That's the big thing, right? I get it. I see it. It's just, I found it a little frustrating, right? I kind of feel it would work more if it was the mum and a kid the age of Harry. You know? Because I think Anna is of the age where, like, fucking up her mum's life is impacting her, right? You would know that, right? Like, now, you might do some things just to kind of, like get the earring and, but there's certain things that you're like, that's really gonna come and fuck me. You know what I mean? So maybe don't do that, right? The overreactions to Ryan and just these kind of things are, they just kind of played a little odd, in my books, right? Because, you're thinking, okay, this thing has happened, but you would think there's a way to reverse this. So you're not trying to burn everything down before you do that. Because then what's going to happen? You know what I mean? You fuck up someone's life, you reverse back, they're going to come for you. You know what I mean? They're going to come for you, right? So you ain't trying to do that. And do you really hate your mum enough to completely destroy everything, right? It's just a bit like, I don't know, right? And then the mom, like, again, you would know, okay, I've got to try and pretend to be like, fit into this scenario. Right? So it just played a bit weird. It's just like, I think seeing the other person's issues, and that's good, right? And I think that works, right? Understanding that the teacher had a vendetta, and the best friend the former best friend is just an arsehole, right? So there's nothing else with that. So there were certain things that you're like, okay, I mean, that works, right? But having the Jake character trying to get it on with the mum is crazy. Having the mum, like, but that's the thing, like, firstly, the mum's getting married. You know that this is an adult, this is a kid that's rape, right? You know that's prison, right? So you ain't messing like that. And it's just like they've had one conversation and now the kid's like, oh, I love you, right? And then at the end, it's just like, oh, you know, your mom, it was just a mistake. I was trying to mac on your mom, right? It's just bonkers. Like, how could you ever forget about that, right? That this person tried to lips up your mum, right? You couldn't go there again. You ain't fucking with that, right? The whole guitar thing. I mean, like, you're trying to tell me that the other band members, firstly, are not seeing that Shorty ain't playing the guitar. They're not going, what's happening here? Because it's clear she ain't playing the guitar. Like, there's just too many scenarios where you're just like, that ain't gonna fool anyone. You know what I mean? That's not fooling anyone. What are we doing here? You know? So, yeah, I don't know. Freaky Friday, like this version. I mean, I think the old version. Firstly, when I watched it, I was young. I'm mad young, right? So you're not overthinking anything at that point. But also, when things are set in like the 70s and that kind of thing, you can give them more leeway in, I think, the way people do things, because it was a time before so much, right? No mobiles, like limited TV. You know what I mean? That, like, there just wasn't and then the exposure to things, right? Where we've got all of this input, they didn't. So I think you are able to go, yes, I can see people acting in that way, doing that thing. But here, it's just kind of like, I don't know, we've got too much available to ourselves to try and pretend that there's knowledge people wouldn't have, you know? So that's the thing. But as I said, look, I can see how, kids growing up, you know what I mean? It's 2003, you know? I can see how people would watch this film and enjoy it. But remember, I hate E.T. and the Goonies. So this clearly was not made for me. But I'm intrigued to see what they do with this new one. Right? So, yeah. That, people, is my little take on Freaky Friday, the 2003 audition.